Bonjour everyone, je suis Kakarot197 and this is a review of the 1/44 scale no grade Gundam Rose from the G Gundam series. And well, Neo Franz is in for one hell of a model kit. Yeah, starting off with the colors, and they immediately drop the ball big time. So for colors, you're gonna have to do a lot of painting if you want this to look good. We have some red, all red on the feet, on the chest. We have white, but it's not really white. It has this green tint to it, and it looks really off. And when we look at the manual, the Gundam Rose isn't even supposed to be this greenish white. He's supposed to be white. So why not just mold it in the right color right away? So yeah, the white is really off-putting. It feels horribly cheap and really, yeah, not good. Just once again, why not just mold it in the correct white immediately? Then we have blue to wrap it up. We have it on the shoulder, the cape there, and you can pretty much see the rest. And of course we have gray for all the poly caps. And then the worst of it all, the stickers. Man, are these stickers horrible. So the good ones are those, well, rivets, bolts here on the side. We have 6 of them. We have a red one at the top. And then we get to the really horrible ones. The yellow one on the chest made no attempt to stay on there whatsoever. And I'll try to push it back in, but by the end of the review, that thing is once again gonna eject. The sticker on the shield here, once again, no attempt to stay on whatsoever. The Jack and Diamond doesn't want to stay on. Chin sticker, well, those are particularly horrible as always, and man, this is definitely one of the worst ones so far. It just makes no attempt to stay on there whatsoever. Even the eyes are trying to escape. If you can see that, there we go. That's really saying a lot. These stickers are absolutely horrible, and even with the stickers, it's still not even close to being color accurate. You still need blue trimming, you need red trimming here, you need the yellow trimming. And what I also love is that there are actually like plastic parts in between. The manual wants us to color them white, but they're not supposed to be there. That's just supposed to be empty. So yeah, you might want to do some cutting there. And on to articulation. Unfortunately, things aren't getting a lot better here. Head goes, well, it nudges backwards and forwards, nudges side to side, turns around all the way. There we go, and nudges back forwards. The arm rotates around all the way, but it's on there really tight. So it really doesn't want to turn around, but up and down, it's loose as all hell. And this is as far up as it goes. Quality. Arms rotate, well, go up 90 degrees and rotate around above the elbow. Hands are on ball joints, will wiggle around, turn around, and those are the typical 90s hands. No waist articulation whatsoever. Seriously, guys, why not? This is not a mobile suit where, you know, this is not a Zaku where it's obstructed by a lot of things. Why not? Then the cape goes up. And once again, have that 90-degree bend there. The arm will technically rotate around all the way, but it's going to be a bit difficult with this here in the way, and then also with his head in the way. But it can rotate. However, once again, in and out, nothing at all. And then this part of the cape will only rotate around a bit, kind of nudge around. Then the legs forwards about that far, still kind of surprising. And this part isn't moving. Out, almost nothing at all. You know, they go further inwards than outwards, and backwards, well, that's not too bad. The legs are technically double jointed, but yeah, that's as far as you're gonna get, unless if you only use the upper joint, you could get it a bit further. If you really try, you can get, oh yeah. Now how's that for some articulation? And the feet, well, the ankle guard is molded together with the leg. Feet go forwards, backwards, side to side pretty far. This is probably the best piece of articulation here. And yeah, that's about all they're gonna do. So articulation, not that great. And accessories, things aren't really getting a lot better here. We have the sword on the side, which you have to completely detach. And even the manual tells you to do it like this. You simply detach this sword here, and then you have a very nice peg in its place instead of having like just the scabbard. No, you have to remove the entire thing. We don't even get a spare scabbard with just this thing removed. Nope, you have to remove the entire thing, and then we get this white thing. The good thing is, it goes in the hand pretty solidly, and that's the lot you're getting. Also, one thing I should mention is that the molding of this thing isn't particularly great either, especially the face. It's dopey, to say the least. The only cool thing on here I will give it credit for is that when we look at the back, it does have the core lander feature. So that's one nifty thing. It has a little hovercraft, you know, speeder bike thing. Kind of reminds me of something you would see in F-Zero. So putting that back there. As always, the inevitable question is, do you want to buy this? No, 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 pas du tout. Not at all. It only costs 500 yen, but really, it's just not a good model. And it's not just a good model because it's old and we're looking at it from a modern perspective. When you look at this thing, for its time, it was bad. When we compare it to, say, the Victory Gundam line, which came right before it, this, I mean, for the same price, this is absolutely horrible. And even in the same line, when we look at good model kits like the Spiegel here, way better than the Gundam Rose. So as much as it pains me to say, there's really no reason why you would want to pick this here up. The articulation is pretty crappy, color separation is horrible, but that is definitely a thing that's going on with all of those G Gundam kits. Even the Gundam Spiegel will require its fair amount of stickers, but still, the Gundam Rose has it particularly bad, partly due to design, but you know, they could have always given us some more stickers for that. It's not like they aren't sticker heavy already. Talking about stickers, even the stickers are horrible on this model kit. And the biggest killer of all is, if you're a fan of the Gundam Rose, there is a much better model kit out there. The Hyper Mode. Yes, it's the identical thing. Yes, it's just as bad in every single aspect. However, the gold definitely makes you forget about all the flaws. This model kit just looks a lot better. It's really shiny. It has a few numbers, but still, that's definitely not a big deal. It's, well, it's color accurate. And even the face isn't as noticeable because, you know, the gold distracts you from all of the bad molding there is, and it just shines much more. So if you're a fan of the Gundam Rose, do not buy this for 500 yen. Save up an extra 200 yen and buy this for 700. Really, there's no reason to get this unless you just want to collect them all, or if there's some kind of action going on where you get something free with the model kit, you know, as sometimes happens. And finally, for some more size comparisons, it's not the biggest model kit around, because, you know, G Gundam kits are supposed to be a bit smaller, but even next to Gym Custom, you can see it's about right the size. So one more good thing I guess we have to say about this model. Then you're next to the Javelin, the James Gun. As you can see, it's a small machine, but not one of the smallest. Still, I wouldn't say it's worth 500 yen. And putting it next to a bit more massive machine, here it's next to the Zonker 3. And as you can see, the Zonker 3 doesn't even fit in the same screen. There we go. Much bigger. And finally, since we've been talking a bit of French, why not compare it to the Strike Rouge with the Noir Striker Pack? You know, by popular demand. So, that's all for this review, and see you guys next time.